How's it going, YouTubers? It's Harry again. Have some good information today on how to file a complaint at the disciplinary council at the Bar Association. And there's a proper way and a proper language to do this. Now, across the board, I'm sure it's all the same. If you go to your computer and you type in disciplinary council for your state and you find their address and their phone number, the only thing you can do if you can't find the form is to call the disciplinary council, and you can only say certain things or they'll hang up on you. They will not talk to you because this is kind of it's a board that's formed of active or retired attorneys and judges that serve on this board called the Disciplinary Council. Now, it's at the Bar Association, the Supreme Court for your state, and you'll have to search around to find this. Now, you can find their phone number and you can call up the Disciplinary Council at the Bar Association, and the only thing you can say is, please send me the proper documents to file a complaint against a judge, an attorney, a prosecutor, whoever it is. And this is my name, this is my address, and thank you. That's it. If you go on and try to talk to them and think they're your friend and all that, they'll hang right up on you because this is kind of a secret a process. So they cannot get into your case, and please don't get into this. You'll waste your time. Now, I went to my state and I searched for the Disciplinary Council, the Bar Association Disciplinary Council, and I actually found a printable form, and the link's going to be below here to look at that. And you have to understand that you have to learn their language. And I'm going to go over that with you quite quickly here. It's simple. You look up the canons of law for your state and the code of ethics. And when you find those, it will be, for example, CE-01 for Code of Ethics 01. Let's say, for example, it'll say, didn't represent client diligently. Very simple, broad, ambiguous, everything by that actual line. Well, let's say you had an example of where the attorney didn't represent you diligently, and you have some kind of evidence or proof or written affidavit or something like that. So the first thing on the complaint would be client or attorney didn't represent client diligently per CE-01, and this is how they didn't do it correctly. And that's, you learn their language, and under these codes of ethics and canons of law, it'll have a letter and then a number in most states, and then it'll say it'll have some kind of verbiage that you can put down as a complaint. So you have to use their wording when you're complaining about what they did to you, and that's where people miss the mark. You have to learn their language. There's so many different languages in the English languages in this country. It isn't funny. Just people can't understand that everybody has their own little language. You know, even baseballers, you know, all this, you know, stuff that they do. That's a different language, and it's the same thing they have. And you have to not assume anything or make any kind of statements or anything like that. You have to follow what they're saying and use their sections, and you do this all on separate piece of paper before you use their form that they sent you. They'll send it by courier if you call them. If you find it online, you can print it off, but you need to understand that you're probably going to make mistakes. So do all this ahead of time and prepare. The dollar store has notebooks for $1. I mean, you can get those notebooks and do everything before you do this on these these forms that they have. And anybody, even the educated, anybody that's not even educated in any kind of legal stuff could fill these out and complete these and send these in. But you have to understand, when you make this complaint and you try to get well, you're not really making the complaint, you're requesting the forms. That's all you can do, like I said. Now, when you get that, either in the mail or by courier, and most of the time they'll send a courier like the next day, they won't play, and you'll get this envelope addressed to you. And when you pop that envelope open, you have to gag your case. You cannot tell anybody, you cannot talk to anybody, or the Bar Association will throw it out immediately if they hear anything about what you've said or what's in your complaint or who you talk to. If you tell anybody anything, they'll throw your case out immediately. It doesn't matter if you're 100% right. As soon as you open that envelope, you cannot ever tell anybody or talk to anybody. And sometimes it takes up to 90 days. Sometimes they'll tell you, sometimes they won't tell you. But the thing about it is, if an attorney did something wrong to you, or they violated their oath, or they did these things, and you make these proper complaints, and nothing happens, well, what if they do it again? And the next person down the line does this, and it'll get harder and harder for the attorney or the prosecutor or the judge or whoever it is you're filing this complaint. And if it violates the code of ethics and the canons of law, and you frame your mind up and your language and your writing to fit their language, then you are communicating with them properly. Nothing else works. That's why it's all lined up and detailed and specific, because you have to be specific to the codes, the canons of law, the codes of ethics. And they have it in every state. Almost everything's identical. The whole system of fraud is almost identical. But you have to search these things out and understand these little tidbits in order to be effective against these people and this tyranny. Now, all you have to do is do a simple investigation, code of ethics, and canons of law. And remember how you're supposed to use their language and their language only. Now, if you have documents and you have affidavits that people wrote, you can create the evidence. It's just as good if it's true. Just don't lie on these people. Tell the truth. And swear to it and have them notarized and attach them to this. And they have instructions on what to do. Now, Ohio has a really good one. I was surprised. I did a very simple search, found it in like 30 seconds, and it was printable. And I saved it on my computer in my link to show you. Now, you may not live in Ohio, but every state has these and has the Bar Association, and some counties have bar associations, or maybe all counties have bar associations. But you have to speak their language. And their language is the Code of Ethics and the Canons of Law. And it's the disciplinary council at the Bar Association. And get their phone number and call them and request those documents. They will spit them right out to you so fast, you'll get a knock at the door the next day and there it will be. So this is serious. They take this serious. So learn their language, file the proper complaints with the proper agencies, and don't put any drama in it, period. I got to go for now. I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit of information, and let's tackle tyranny. Talk to you soon.